in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a number of buckets map, also known as a predicted buckets map, and is what's shown on the dredge positioning screen to notify the operator how many buckets he needs to take in each location, and this is based off the face. So to do so, we'll load in a survey. So click in the My Station Calculator tab, click Import Data, and we'll load in an XYZ survey. At this point you can shift the data or clip the data if you want. And we're going to load in a matrix to XYZ. So this is XYZ that's already cut to a grid. 10 by 10, 15 by 15, 20 by 20 grids are usually pretty good. If you have a smaller bucket, maybe you want to go even smaller for more resolution. In this case, 10 by 10 usually works out pretty good. So once you have it loaded, we'll click Export Data. And at this point too, you can shift or clip the data. If you clip the data, if you want to make it smaller, a smaller dredging area, let's say, and click Number of Buckets, done. And the first question it'll ask is this a survey or a channel difference? So the XYZ we inputted was just the survey, nothing done to it. The soundings are just the raw survey points, well, after it was processed. And the channel difference would be as if this survey was already calculated to the difference and just showing the face. So we'll keep it on survey. The bucket byte is the face, the linear face that one byte of the bucket can take at a time. So if you don't know how to calculate that, you could just click the question mark here and I'll walk you through it. So let's say 30 cubic yard bucket. The footprint is 20 feet by 15 feet, and so it can take 2.7 linear feet at a time, each bucket it takes. So the grade for this area is 47. And what this does, if it's already 247 or higher, then it will just remove the point from the bucket map altogether. It won't display a 0. And the target depth, it could also be 47, but if putting the bucket to 47, you're still not clearing grade, that's pretty often you might want to bump it up to maybe 47.5, 48, 49, whatever you're showing. And this will calculate the number of buckets to that depth. So let's just say 48. Standard rounding and rounding up. The difference between that is, let's say you require 1.2 buckets in that area. Rounding up will make that 2 buckets because it's rounding to the nearest integer for the bucket map. So around to 2, and if you select standard, the 1.2 will be rounded down to a 1. So rounding up is common if you need to clear everything to grade. Even if there's 0.2 of a bucket, you still got to take a full bucket. But standard is better for reducing over digging, I should say. Now we can export as a DXF or an XYZ or both. In this case, we're just going to make a background for a computer, for the dredge computer screen, so DXF is fine. Now that in the DXF parameters, this is for the text. So we want black or colors. Let's say we want colors. I'll bring up this here with default values, and these numbers here correspond to the DXF color number. You can go through and change anything that's already preset, but let's say if we wanted to make them all this light green, color 100. You see it made it all that. Or we can go through and select colors one by one. You can also use this down here to select the colors. And you can select multiple colors at a time if needed. Alright, so I just arbitrarily chose some colors. The angle is the rotation of the text, so we'll just keep that at 0, and the height is the height of the text, which this is a 10 by 10, so maybe 5 would be good. Let me click Done. Now this is a pretty large survey, so it's going to take a little bit to analyze all the survey points and calculate the number of buckets, and then export the DXF. Alright, now it's asking where you would like to save. So we'll save this here. And it's creating the DXF pretty quickly. And now we can go and open up this bucket map we just made. Zoom extends. And you can see it's made this bucket map here. and it's removed all the zeros where it's already to grade, so they know not to dig in this area. And it's used the color code, and now you can see when the bucket's over this area, just take one bucket. Over here, take 2 buckets, and so on and so forth. Thank you for watching.